G'day everyone. Welcome to A Voice in the Wilderness with Lad from the Woods. I've been in the middle of doing my Long Live Rock reaction videos, and I decided to check Twitter because there's getting to be a bit of a following there for the songs I'm putting up. In the meantime, though, I was having a discussion with a fellow, and I've just given up because some people you can't get to them. And he writes kind of insultingly in a way. You have to see his text and everything. But here it goes. I can't even remember how this all got started. But it was Alex Jones just lost 2 Sandy Hook cases. Okay, so this is to do with Alex Jones, him losing the cases, which is good. I still think that if he broke the laws, that he should be dealt with law enforcement, but he should not be censored. Okay, if he does something stupid on Twitter, okay, and he breaks the law, well then the law enforcement people need to get in there. If somebody feels he's lying about them or making up stories like he did in Sandy Hook, well then you get a lawyer out and you sue him. But censoring him just makes more enemies. And when you censor him, they come back for, other people. The left, the right, the center, the up, the down, everywhere they go around. Okay, so boutique liberals are responsible for a lot of this. As I've as I've run across is what I mean to say. So so I write in this thing that it's not directly to this guy. It's Shannon Watts on this Twitter. She goes, after losing 2 cases regarding his Sandy Hook conspiracy theories, Alex Jones and InfoWars will have to pay whatever damages a jury panel determines Jones's claims that the mass shooting was a false flag pulled off by crisis actors are worth, which is, of course, a lie. But so they were default judgments. And of course, I didn't read the entire article. I don't really need to because I'm not delving into it. I'm delving into the idea of censorship. And there were people in the thread that were going, he should be censored, he should be censored. And I'm going, you're boutique liberals because, blue, they got their little wet blue, vote blue no matter who and all that stuff. And, a few conservative fascist types. But all in all, doing that. But it's like, you're misrepresenting on how things work. And the fact that Twitter and these other companies, you keep saying that they have to abide, they don't have to abide by privacy. Well, when the government tells them to censor something, they're doing it. Okay? So that's wrong. Our government both governments, Canada and American, should not be doing that. Number one, it's against the law, against our charter, against your constitution. Okay? And so there's that. And then at the same time, the government, should be protecting us from them censoring us because, and I'll say it again because I'm not getting through to these people, is the government can declare a thing like Twitter a common carrier and necessary for communication, like the telephone, like the telegraph, other things that they have done in other sectors. The idea is you make it a common carrier. You guys go, they're allowed to. If AT&T was allowed to censor your phone calls, how happy would you be about that? They could have done it had they not been turned into a common carrier. They're not a public utility, I don't think, anymore. They're a private common carrier, okay? And the other one is a public common carrier, which the government puts somebody in charge of. But they have to obey all the fucking laws, especially when it comes to the First Amendment. And so I don't understand how these people can argue with me. You're arguing for the government or tech people that have no business telling us what is and what isn't right, okay? But you're supporting that. What the fuck's the matter with you? Give yourself a slap in the fucking head, okay? Like, fuck. We fought all these years to try and keep censorship. Like, the 60s, the boomer and the hippies and all that fought because things were getting censorship. Then the moral majority started up their bullshit in the 80s. Want everything censored. Porn. They wanted to tell us that what we could do, when we could do it, and whether we could look at it or not. We fought that off. Larry, what's his name from Hustler, And here we are again, and now it's the other side. It's the boutique liberals. that are shitting over people because of what they don't like. They don't like Joe Rogan because of what he says. That's because Joe Rogan doesn't sit in any particular position. He takes a position on each individual one. That's what a mature adult does. Okay, so anyways, I write in here to answer back. This is how people deal with this sort of thing. And if laws were broken, then law enforcement deals with it, not tech companies. Censorship is wrong even for Mr. Jones. If people are gullible enough to believe him, then so be it. It's called Darwin. I did this in capitals. Censorship is wrong, period. Okay, and then here's the obtuse for the moment. His name is agoraphobic. He just answered. He doesn't follow me. I don't follow him. I don't know him from shit. Anyways, he says, and I already have heard this 1,000 times, platforms are free to set their own rules and enforce them. He obviously didn't read what I put there, because they can be told that they can't have their own rules if you declare them common carriers, like the telephone, the telegraph, etc. So he says platforms are free to set their own rules and enforce them. It isn't censorship, which he puts in quotes, to throw someone out of your forum for refusing to abide by your rules. Yes, it is. Okay, the First Amendment and our Charter of Rights, the 2A, explicitly says you cannot do that. If you're in a forum, you're communicating. That means that you have the freedom to communicate. These companies cannot do what they're doing. But if you really want to put the nail in the coffin, then the government comes along and says, okay, well, like the telegraph back in the 1800s, like the telephone, Twitter is obviously a place where people were commuting back and forth. They're doing it differently, but the telephone and the telegraph are two different things, amongst other things that they've done. So it's a common carrier, man. And if it has to be a public common carrier, then so be it. If they can't be, it's not like the government has to control, a common carrier itself directly. Which this guy, that's why I said, I answered him, it's like, he's obviously not well read. He's just coming in here and spouting. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not calling him an idiot or anything. He just doesn't know. And he's just giving the answer. The answers he are giving is what everybody else gives, or what the media has drummed into his head. I have no idea how old he is, anything, but you can tell by the answers. So now he sends the second text. Second, this isn't law enforcement in the sense that anyone's arrested or going to jail. These are civil suits that cost time and money to pursue, which frequently puts the wealthy beyond the reach of justice. Well, that's why we changed these laws. And number one is that in the case of Dum Dum, okay, the people of Sandy Hook, he will be paying the bill for this court and lawyers and everything else. Okay, I'll assume that they've had some judgment or will have some judgment in that. But again, he doesn't read. Second, there isn't law enforcement. What I said is, and if laws were broken, then law enforcement deals with it, not the tech companies. So, guys on Twitter, he threatens somebody with murder, okay? He lives in Livonia, Michigan, okay? And, okay, they're able to track this guy down. He's broken the law by making a threat, blah, 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 blah. No different than if he's on a phone that's been tapped, if he sent it by telegraph, sent it by email, whatever, okay? If that conversation isn't private and that gets out somewhere, or he's told somebody in a fucking bar, that's communication too, cops are going to be there, and that's how they should deal with it. When Donald Trump got censored for January 6th, they should have proved, yes, he is directly responsible for what happened in Washington. Therefore, his words are considered illegal, and he should have been charged with it. But that's for lawyers and prosecutors and all that stuff to decide. Okay, but it's not for fucking Jack Dorsey or that weird looking fucking robot guy from Facebook, or who's the other one at YouTube, that girl, I have no idea. Anyways, I mean, you look at the girl on YouTube, this guy's defending the fact that you can't even talk about vaccines anymore unless you're CNN on YouTube. That's what he's defending. Okay, so that's what he says. So I sent something back to him, and it reads, I made sure to say see below because he's not reading. I put in quotes what he said. No, I'm sorry. I put in quotes what our Constitution says. The one line that means everything. And it is other media of communication. Okay? That means things like Twitter, new stuff that's coming down the road. Our Canadian charter covers this. If our government decided to grow a set, Twitter, etc., or et al., would already be common carriers here and subject to our charter. Worse is your feds, American ones, you impose censorship on Facebook, and so now, because we're in North America, we don't get to see, because they censored it. That's affecting us. You have no right, American government, to censor what Canadians see. That's our business. And if our government says we're censored, well, we've got, a problem on our hands. But it's nothing to do with you. The same as if our government told Facebook, okay, you can't have that on, it's Canadian. Let's say it's a Canadian thing. You Americans should be pissed off about that because you have the right to see it. So anyway, I made one of those little memes I put out on you put the memes and I put it on Twitter. So I put that in with this so that he could read very clearly, okay? So I have the little thing. It says, at Lad from the Woods asks, why is Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, et al. Allowed to break Canadian law? Canadian Charter of Rights, Section 2B, freedom of expression. Everyone in Canada has the following fundamental freedoms: freedom of thought, freedom of belief, freedom of opinion and expression, okay, expression signs, including freedom of the press, and the big one, other media of communication. Twitter is media, it's other communication, okay? Right on the bottom line, I say it right out. I sent this to the Prime Minister and the other two party leaders during the election. Nobody ever answered me from the Liberal Party or anything. So that's what we're facing here in Canada. So I put on the bottom line, declare them common carriers and make them public utilities. It's so simple. And it doesn't have to be the government owning it or run it. They just oversee it. So he sends back, without thinking, you're ... accusing our government of imposing censorship on private platforms. And your solution, in quotes, is your, in quotes again, government seizing control of them. I didn't say that. Why doesn't Canada just create its own gaps? Now he makes it a Canada American or a parlor. Surely healthy competition would produce the obvious outcome. So he's talking to me like I'm a fucking dummy. So you'll see what I sent back, and I see he's probably answered. He's done. I'm going to be putting him on the numbskull list. But no, we already in Canada have something called Rumble. And everybody's heading there because there's no censorship. They can't, our government will be all over them. There is certain things, that they're like, you can't depict rape and things like that or nudity, because that's our Canadian law. Okay. We've accepted that as a country that these are our laws, not the Americans. Okay. Not all Canadians agreed that. I don't agree with censorship, but I also think that there is, you can't be putting things like rape, common sense. If you have a right to do something, it doesn't always mean you do it. Okay? Be happy that you have the right. So anyways, I don't know what he's trying to prove there. Then he says create its own gab or parlor. He just does the right-wing ones. I guess the right-wing ones. But there is a new one coming down the pike. It's called Panquake. It's not Canadian, but you won't be doing what Twitter's doing. It's just like Rumble is doing against YouTube. And big guys like Brent Greenwald are already at Rumble, Jimmy Dore, all these other people who do the politics, they're all looking at Rumble and coming over. And there, you get monetized right away. You don't get censored for things like vaccine, okay? If you say stupid stuff, you don't get censored for that because Rumble treats people like adults. I'm an adult. And if I see Dum Dum Jones saying that the moon is falling because he took a shit in the middle of a field, okay, I'm adult and smart enough to go, that ain't true, man. Or I'm adult enough to go Google or whatever. I can decide for myself. I don't need boutique liberals or fascists or government or anybody else telling me whether this guy is right or wrong. I as an adult can figure it out. And if I don't, and I do something because of what he said, that is called Darwin. Okay? It's just like when I ride an ATV, people say, well, you shouldn't ride so fast, blah, blah, blah. And I do it anyway, flying off the cliff and I die. Darwin. Okay? That's it. So this guy's defending, So I answered him. We have. It's called Rumble. It's an alternative to YT or YouTube. As for the Freds, I do not trust them. But you and our laws are very plain and simple. Again, Feds already have done this in dozens of circumstances. They've done it with Hydro Project. You got the Tennessee Conservation Authority, all kinds of shit. Okay, perhaps read up on the whole subject. You're not well versed in it, so I'm trying to shut him down. Of course, he answered, and guess what it'll be. What do you think, people? 50, 70, 30. He's going to send an insult or call me a dummy or keep talking to me like I don't know shit. Let's go. Oh, where is he? Oh, wait a minute. I pushed the wrong button. Yeah, I guess I'm done for it. Here he is. Show more replies. He's swearing. There it is, the do your own research moment. Very last bastions of all flat earthers, anti-vaxxers, climate denialists, conspiracy theorists, and every other self-contradicting goalpost mover who ever painted themselves in a bar. You win the day's numbskull list. You win numbskull of the day. Sorry. I'm doing this with you guys on here. I gotta make sure I'm not gonna block him. You just made the numbskull list. Just made the numbskull of the day. Boy, it's hard to type when you're stoned, eh? Anyway, I'm going to put one of those little emojis. I think there's probably a party one, eh? I'm not going to laugh. I'm just going to do like a party one. Oh, wait a minute. Zany face. Yeah, I think I like that one. So I'm saying, as for what you, in capitals, think I am, that's hilarious. You must be a boutique liberal are as bad as the right wing, I guess that's a separate word? No. I don't know why. It was telling me it was a separate word with the Grammarly. Sometimes that thing ain't the most accurate, eh? Oh, are as bad as the right wing. Watch this. I'll read it out to you guys in a minute, okay? So you're going to see my head for a minute. I'm having fun with this guy, and then I'm not going to block him because I want him to see this video. I just don't want to go too long. It'll take forever to upload. Actually, who are exactly... Okay. As for you... Oh, who you think... I forgot the word who. I should know that word. My favorite rock band, The Who. As for what you think I am... that should have a comma, I think. That's hilarious. You must be a boutique liberal. You people are as bad as the right-wing fascists, who are exactly accuse me of. Okay. As for you, what you accuse me of, I'm a social libertarian. How come I can't spell that all of a sudden? See what you get when you smoke one, when you're doing something? See, I was smoking while I was doing the fucking music, but I'm trying to go, because I mean, it just irritated me right away. It's just the way he was typing. It's, you know, you're talking down to me, and I'm like, you know, you don't know me, man. I'm 6'1". I'm actually 260 pounds now. I used to be 330, and I'm getting in good shape even for a guy at 58. But I guarantee you, this guy, I'd knock him into next year. I mean, I lived my life on the streets fighting and scrapping, and this is just some boutique liberal sitting in his basement or something. Who knows? Oh, there's the problem. Libertarian. There we keeps going caps. I don't know. Caps lock. Libertarian. Fuck. It's not like my first time with a fucking keyboard, you know, but I haven't used it for a while, so I used the on-screen keyboard. Bullshit. Oh, fuck, man. I ran out of room here. God damn. Okay, I'll just put BS. Fuck. I hate when I run out of fucking... Ooh! Twitter. As for what you think I am, as for what you think I am, that's hilarious. You must be a boutique liberal. So I accuse him. Okay, well, I can't put any comments. You people are as bad as the right-wing fascists, who are exactly what you accuse me of. I'm a social libertarian. Go look it up. We are disgusted with the BS. Oh, fuck. Is there something I can get rid of? The BS from you all. Oh fuck, there's no way I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, I'll have to type, put in those stupid short ones, you know. It looks, I hate doing this. I really do. Oops, delete. But it's working. Fuck, I hate it. You know, the short letter U for YOU. I type proper English and everything. Unlike Mr. Boutique Liberal there. Fucking hilarious, these guys. And they think just by accusing that, you know, he does exactly what he accuses me of. You know, makes all these accusations, blah, 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 blah. It's like, without even listening or whatever. I mean, the things you're accusing me of, that's what you're doing. You know, and then you're doing it from the left, which is even worse, because at one time they used to be good guys, but when the Clintons took over, it was the end for the left. It was the end of the FDR, the party of FDR. Go look it up. We are disgusted with the bullshit from you all. Just 3 letters I got to get rid of, man. There's just nothing I can't take out. A boutique liberal. Can I change that? Oh, boutique lib. How's that? They hate that. Feds explode. Jimmy Dore does it all the time. We send another one? Nope. There it is. You do your own research. It's like somebody lazy that doesn't want to go read up on common carrier law. There's a law that does that. I have the law on the thing on my Twitter. He never went to look at my Twitter because all the things he just accused me of are completely foreign to me. I believe in the vaccines. I think that if you don't like the vaccine, that's good for you. But I took it, and it's not my business to give. Conspiracy theorists, well, maybe that's my UFO thing, but considering I've seen UFOs twice in my life, and I have a channel and I'm involved with UFO Twitter, and what's the other one? Flat Earthers. No, I actually was raised during the Apollo program, and our entire lives were revolving around Star Trek, Apollo, Lost in Space, and my family was heavily scientific. We are not religious people in any way, shape, or form. But he accuses me of being a flat earther. I think you, Mr. Agoraphobia, or whatever you're agoraphobic, I think you should read what you just put. Anyways, because that you're describing yourself. They call that projecting. Trump's good at that. So was Biden, for that matter. 25 minutes. Ah, fuck. Sorry, I went and clicked it off. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's 25 minutes. I didn't want to do it that long. Anyways, yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. If you look down in the description, if you want to help support my channel, there's a link for Buy Me a Coffee down in the description, and all my information will be at the end of this video for other sites or other channels and stuff I'm doing. Okay, I hope everybody has a good upcoming week, and you guys be safe out there, or be good. If you can't be good at being bad, and be cool. Bye.